Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. The man behind me thought he was a genius. He thought he had committed the perfect crime. He had a rock-solid alibi, video footage of himself fishing, receipts proving he was miles away from the scene. He had every detail covered, or so he thought. He forgot about one thing, something so simple, so obvious, that it turned his entire case upside down. The sun. Did the sun bring a killer out of the shadows, or did the sun put an innocent man behind bars? Please like and subscribe to the channel for content on real-life murder mysteries. Jennifer Myers, the owner of the Grey Fox Gallery in Spring Grove, Pennsylvania, was a beloved picture framer. Autumn was a beautiful time there, attracting photographers and artists. Everyone knew Jennifer as a wonderful wife, mother, and friend. Running a store is tough. A year before, Jennifer had been robbed at gunpoint. After that, her husband, Steve, started stopping by the store every afternoon after work. Most days were uneventful, but October 20th, 1997 would be tragically different. A frantic call shattered the evening at York County 911. A man's terrified voice reported, "My wife's been shot," at the Grey Fox Gallery in Spring Grove, pleading for immediate help. The dispatcher quickly tried to gather information, asking if he knew the shooter or where she was hit. His distraught answers revealed the horror. He didn't know who did it, but she was shot in the face. Tragically, she was no longer breathing. Jennifer was dead on the floor behind the counter when the police came. 3 shots had been fired at her. Around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, witnesses reported hearing popping noises near the Grey Fox picture frame shop that police believed to be gunshots. A man wearing light blue trousers and a blue plaid flannel shirt was seen fleeing the scene by several witnesses. This individual entered with the express purpose of murdering the victim. No struggle took place. This homicide did not result from a fight. It wasn't a robbery that caused this. Neither Jennifer's handbag nor the cash register had any missing cash. Police believed the perpetrator was prepared to take any risks to murder Jennifer Myers because the attack was so blatant. The police claimed that it was someone who had an issue with her and who genuinely wanted her dead. The first thing they needed to consider is who wanted Jennifer Myers dead. According to a ballistic analysis, the murder weapon was either a .357 or .38 caliber revolver. Although Steve Myers voluntarily gave over the weapon for forensic examination, he didn't seem like the man who had been spotted rushing by the store earlier in the day. The police had a strong suspicion about who might have killed Jennifer. She was supposed to testify in court the very next day against Kevin Dowling, a 40-year-old man she accused of robbing her at gunpoint a year earlier. But then she was murdered. Since Kevin Dowling was out of jail on bail at the time, he had the opportunity to commit the murder. However, when the police questioned him, Dowling said he was somewhere else. He claimed he was fishing on a boat at Muddy Run Lake, and his wife backed up his story. Dowling even had what seemed like proof. He told the police he had recorded his fishing trip on a home video. His wife willingly gave the police the video to review. The police immediately noticed that the video had the exact date and time it was recorded, stamped right on the screen. The footage showed him fishing in the middle of Muddy Run Lake from 10:46 in the morning until 4 p.m. This was all on the very day Jennifer Myers was murdered. Muddy Run Lake was also about a 45-minute drive from Jennifer's store. Dowling even had receipts for things like food, fishing bait, and renting the boat, which seemed to prove his story. But even with all this, something about the video just felt off to the police. The police began to wonder if Dowling had altered the video in some way. They wanted to determine if experts could use forensic science to determine if the video had been doctored. Even though Dowling supposedly filmed all day, the entire video was only 12 minutes long. Also, he kept saying on the video that he was catching fish, but he never actually showed any fish. The police thought it was odd that if you were catching fish, you wouldn't bother to film yourself reeling them in. The police knew that the date and timestamp on videos could be easily changed, so it was super important for them to figure out the real time Dowling had actually recorded the video. Throughout the recording, the sun kept peeking out, casting really clear shadows. And believe it or not, we can use the sun and where it is in the sky to figure out the time of day by working backward from those shadows. The detectives needed answers, so they turned to the experts at NASA's Goddard Space Flight Center in Greenbelt, Maryland. To their surprise, NASA found someone right in their own backyard to help, Dr. Robert Boyle. He's an associate professor who teaches physics and astronomy, but when he first saw the footage, he wasn't very hopeful. You see, as our Earth spins, the sun appears to move, and that's what creates different shadows. When you're trying to tell time using the sun, there are two key things to look for: azimuth, which is the sun's direction along the horizon, and altitude, or how high the sun is above the ground. Dr. Boyle explained that to crack this case, he'd need more than just the video. He'd need some very specific scientific information. For starters, he'd need to know the dimensions of the boat. He'd also need Kevin Dowling's exact height and size, and even the dimensions of the cap Kevin was wearing in the video. But the single most important piece of information Dr. Boyle needed was the magnetic north compass direction of the boat at the exact moment the video was recorded. To get this, the police took the very same boat back to Muddy Run Lake. They used the landmarks seen in the video to figure out the boat's precise location. Then they simply used a compass to find out which way the boat was pointing. With all that crucial data in hand, Dr. Boyle got to work. He used some clever tools: a protractor, a light bulb, and even an artist's model. The light bulb was like a mini sun, and the artist's model stood in for Kevin Dowling. Dr. Boyle's goal was to move the light around until it created the exact same shadows seen in the video. By doing this, he could use the protractor to measure the angle between the model and the light, revealing the sun's direction, or azimuth, at that moment. But he didn't stop there. Dr. Boyle also used a special computer program called Voyager 2. This program helped him pinpoint the sun's exact location, minute by minute, throughout the entire day of the murder. Then came the crucial step. Boyle compared the precise sun locations he found with the shadows in the video footage, and that's when he made a stunning discovery. By matching the shadows to the sun's true position, Dr. Boyle realized that some of the times displayed on the video were actually faked. Here's an example of what Dr. Boyle found. In one part of the video, it looks like Kevin Dowling is facing north based on the background. The video's timestamp says it's 11:24 a.m. But here's the problem. The sun is clearly shining from Dowling's left, which means it's coming from the west. At 11:24 in the morning, the sun should still be in the east. Based on his careful analysis, Dr. Boyle concluded that this particular part of the video was actually shot much later, closer to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. This was a huge revelation. Kevin Dowling now had the opportunity to commit this crime because he was not on Muddy Run Lake at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Not only did this give him the opportunity, but he also had a motive. However, for prosecutors to secure a conviction, they needed more than just shifting shadows on a video. They needed more evidence. The tests on Kevin Dowling's clothing revealed a crucial piece of evidence. Gunshot residue was found on the left side of his clothes. This was particularly significant because Dowling was left-handed. Prosecutors began to build their case, claiming that Kevin Dowling had carefully planned Jennifer Myers' murder. Their theory was that he wanted to stop her from testifying against him in his upcoming robbery trial. They believed that on the day of the murder, Dowling fished on Muddy Run Lake, using his video camera until about 11:45 a.m. After that, he got out of the boat, cleverly hid it in some bushes, and then drove into town, a trip that would have taken about 45 minutes. Around 1 p.m, prosecutors say Dowling, disguised by a wig, walked into Jennifer's business and fired 3 shots. Even though you couldn't see it with the naked eye, forensic experts were able to find gunpowder residue deeply embedded in the fibres of his shirt. Despite the forensic evidence, Kevin Dowling insisted he was innocent, but he was convicted of first-degree murder and was sentenced to death by lethal injection. So what do you think? Did the Sun put a killer behind bars? Or did the Sun put an innocent man on death row? Like and subscribe to the channel for more content on true crime.